Next on Worcester News tonight, the family of a murdered Princeton jogger speaking out for the first time. More from their message to the public. Plus, a surprise of a lifetime for some Worcester children when their soldier father returns home. We'll have the story. Thank you for joining us. I'm Catherine Andrioli. We're hearing from the family of a central Massachusetts woman who was murdered back in August for the first time tonight. Vanessa Marcotte's family gave their first public statement today since her death, and a new tool they're hoping will help in the investigation.
It has been more than 4 months since Vanessa was tragically taken from us. Not a day goes by that we don't reflect on the enormity of our loss.
Vanessa Marcotte's family is speaking out for the first time after the 27-year-old was murdered while out on a jog in Princeton near her mother's home on August 7th.
Vanessa possessed special gifts. She was a loving, caring, and intelligent young woman who had her whole life ahead of her.
Investigators are still trying to figure out who killed Vanessa Marcotte. Her body was discovered in a wooded area near Brooks Station Road after she went out for a jog from her mother's home around 1 p.m. and never returned.
The family has set up a website, vanessamarcotte.org, so that you may learn more about Vanessa and the causes that were close to her heart.
The website describes Vanessa as a kind, compassionate person who loved running and trips to Cape Cod beaches. The family is hoping the site will bring in more tips, leading investigators to Marcotte's killer.
As the Massachusetts State Police and the Princeton Police continue to investigate Vanessa's murder, we urge anyone with information to call the State Police hotline. For our part, we will share developments in the investigation as we learn them through the website.
And a GoFundMe page linked to the website has raised almost $18,000 for the foundation. Turning to Webster now, charges have been filed against a woman 1 month after a robbery in Webster. A warrant has been issued for 31-year-old Jean Lane. Police say she walked into a Himalaya walk on November 18th wearing a mask and showing a knife. The woman allegedly demanded money and got away with over $250. She allegedly returned the next day, but no money was received in the incident. If you know where she is or have any information, you are asked to contact police. A man suspected of hitting and killing a woman with a dump truck in Worcester is out on personal recognizance while he waits trial. Prosecutors say Philip Friedman ran over Patricia LeMay while pulling away from a curb in July. He says he couldn't have seen her in time to stop, but time and distance tests appear to contradict his story. And attorneys for a Blackstone woman accused of killing 2 infants want to suppress evidence in her trial, claiming warrants were issued without probable cause. Erica Murray is facing several charges, including murder, in relation to the 2014 case. 4 other children were found severely neglected and living in squalor. They are in custody of the Department of Children and Families. A Worcester family got a surprise today when their father returned home from Army training just in time for the holidays. Our Brittany Schaefer was there for the reunion and has the details.
Catherine, the Schatzberger children of Worcester went to the Solomon Pond Mall Wednesday thinking they were just taking a picture with Santa Claus. But with the planning of their mother and the mall, they got a Christmas surprise. Their father, Kyle Schatzberger, had just returned home from military training in Missouri. He was secretly hiding behind Santa's chair and popped up in the back of their Christmas picture. When the kids saw the photo, they were unsure how their father got in the back of the picture, but Santa said he had a surprise.
It's more of like his hero. My son went from being a firefighter to an NFL football player. Now he wants to join the service and be like his dad.
It's nice. It's nice to be home, and it's almost a relief from going through what we go through.
The emotional reunion comes after the kids each asked Santa for their father for Christmas. The kids hadn't seen their father for more than 3 months, and he will now be home for 2 weeks before heading back to Missouri.
Because they really wanted their dad to come home. He's just my rock. He's the person I turn to First person I think about when I wake up, last person I think about when I go to bed. Any problems, he's the person I text or call.
Now the kids aged 2 to 8 years old say this is the best gift Santa could have gotten them. Catherine?
Thank you, Brittany. Worcester City Councilors set the tax rate for 2017 at Tuesday night City Council meeting. It was approved by a 7-4 vote. As our Olivia Lemon tells us, some say the new rate is a compromise, while others were hoping for something different.
The tax classification annual battle.
Tuesday night, the battle continued as the City Council set tax rates for 2017. The Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce says the new classification will push the residential and commercial rate farther apart rather than closer to one single rate.
That's what we'll continue to argue for and fight for, is just a fair and equitable tax system for both the residents and our member businesses.
In a 7-4 vote, the council approved a tax rate of $19.22 per 1,000 for residents and $32.93 for commercial businesses. This means the average homeowner's bill will go up $52, while the average commercial bill will go up $360.
And the idea that businesses can take that tax hit and somehow pass that on to their customers is just a fallacy. A pizza place can't start charging $20 for a pizza that was $7 yesterday.
While some are against the new rate, others say it's a compromise.
It's like a seesaw. So if you favor the residential side, you're going to automatically bump up the business side and vice versa.
City Councilor George Russell says this past year, residential assessments went up on apartments and 3-deckers in the city. He says this new rate will try to make up for it.
We should only be taxing folks, whether they're business or residential, what we absolutely positively need. We shouldn't be just taxing just because we can.
Meanwhile, the chamber says they will keep advocating for policies to help the business community under the new tax rate.
We're going to have to work hard to beef up the Worcester value add proposition to compete with that high tax rate.
And December 21st is the first day of winter, and as you can tell, it's been a cold start with snow hitting the area in the past month. But will that help with the drought conditions in central Massachusetts? Our Andy Madison has a look.
At Ski Ward, they're ready for winter.
We made a ton of snow last night. We pretty much have like 75% open, which is pretty good because this is still considered pretty early season.
The trails are open and there is snow on the ground. On the first day of the winter season, it was chilly, but a little warmer than it was earlier this week.
I prefer not having to bundle up, but I do love snow. I love to ski.
I've always lived here. It's New England. I mean, it's typical, so the snow is awesome. It's a part of living here.
Snow would also help improve drought conditions in the city. Worcester remains in a stage 3 drought and water restrictions remain in place.
The problem with just getting snow is you don't get the reservoirs filling up at all between now and in April.
Guerin says the reservoirs are currently 30% below normal. The water restrictions aren't as critical as they are in the spring and summertime, but Guerin says it's important for homeowners to save water and watch out for leaks.
Interior leaks, dripping faucets, or could be a pipe that's been leaking for a long time.
After not much precipitation fell last year, a snowy winter could go a long way toward improving the drought conditions in central Massachusetts.
Hopefully it's going to be a white Christmas. That's all I'm hoping for. But
And Santa Claus also paid a special visit to the UMass Memorial Children's Medical Center today. Santa and a couple of his helpers visited dozens of children's rooms in the pediatric center. He took photos with children and brought along some gifts and pizza. The chair of pediatrics at UMass, Mary Lee, says this visit really helps the hospital feel more like a home during the Christmas season.
The gifts and the sharing and the cheer that they have, and so it is always so disappointing when they need to stay here instead. And I think that it's been a wonderful surprise for the kids to have Santa come and visit them and know that they haven't been forgotten.
And Lee says she wishes the children could be home for the holidays, but she's glad a visit from Santa can still put a smile on their